Hi, my name is Aaron Coates, and I'm with AFairchild PC. We are working together with the Garland Chamber of Commerce to bring small businesses and the Garland community some QuickBooks training. It is very important for business owners to keep up with their QuickBooks file, as it will allow them to know how their business is doing. It also allows them to make any adjustments regarding revenue and expenses that they may need to take. Now, let's start with our QuickBooks training.
As you can see, this is what is considered the home page of QuickBooks. And for example, we are going to talk about a construction company called Coates Construction, as you can see up at the top of the screen. So when people are setting up QuickBooks, it is always good to have the main things set up correctly. So a couple of those things is items and services. The other thing is estimates and creating invoices, so moving from estimates to invoices, and also being able to pay your employees. So let's begin with talking about the items and services. So in the item and service, as you can see, we already have a couple of things already listed. Now, the different types that most people use are service, inventory part, and non-inventory part. Now, the difference between these is and can be quite substantial. So for service, you're going to use that for most things that are don't really need to have a corresponding expense. Like you could have an expense, but those aren't always there. So as you can see, it might include landscaping, painting, and plumbing for the construction company. Another one would be plumbing, or hourly rate, I apologize, would be hourly rate. So those are some of the types of things that you would see as a service. Another one for non-inventory parts, you would see 2x4 lumber, concrete, PVC piping, and shingles. Now these are all things that are purchased, but it's going to be purchased for that specific job. Now, for inventory parts, unfortunately, construction really doesn't have inventory. So let's kind of switch our brains just a little bit, and we're going to think of a manufacturing company. So somebody that's manufacturing phones. So you're going to have stuff like a motherboard, a screen, a speaker, and wires. Those are all going to be a part of your inventory. Now that you kind of have an understanding of the different kinds, let's actually create a few of them. So let's create a service item. So to do that, you're going to come down here to items. You're going to go up to new. And in here, where it says it's a type, you're going to say it's a service. So in this service, we're going to have our item name is going to be hourly rate because that's what we're going to create. We are going to say that the unit of measurement is by time by the hour. Now, for this, for an hourly rate, we actually are going to say that it's being used as part of subcontractor, just because you're going to have probably subcontractors being the one to do the construction for you, if that is the way that you have it worked out. So in our description, we are going to call this an hourly rate. And in our costs, we're going to leave that at 0. Our expense account, we're going to call this subcontractor's expense. We are not going to have a preferred vendor. And our sales price, we are going to say that this is $15 an hour. In our tax code, because services are normally non-taxable, we are going to change that to say non-taxable. And our income account is going to be construction income. Now that we have everything filled out, we are going to say OK. And on our item list, you're going to see the service that we just created is now listed. Now, let's create a non-inventory part. So if we come back to the same screen, but instead of selecting service, let's select non-inventory part. And our non-inventory part is going to be installation. because we all know in Texas we need insulation. So our unit of measurement is going to be area by square foot. And we are going to say item is used for a specific customer job. So again, that's going to show up with our purchase information and our sales information when we select this box right here. So in our description, we're going to say insulation. Now you can say more if you want, but that is totally up to you. Our subcontractor or our expense account is going to be construction materials costs. And our sales price is going to be $3 per square foot. Now, the insulation is actually going to be taxable if you sell this separately. So we're going to list that as taxable, and our income account is going to be construction income. And we're going to say OK. So now you can see that we have all of our service items in there, our non-inventory items in there, and for manufacturing, you'll see that you have some inventory items in there as well. So let's now go and create an estimate based off of what we had just created. So to create an estimate, you can go one of two ways. You can come here to estimates, and that will allow you to go straight into it. Or if you need it for a specific individual, you would come up to customers or a specific customer, come up to customer center, and we are going to create an estimate for Bob Smith. Now, due to the lack of time that we have, I've already started to create an estimate for Bob Smith. So I'll select right there to open up the estimate. And here you can see that we have concrete for 900 square feet at $10 an hour. And by the way, Bob Smith has contracted with Coates Construction to create a 1,500 square foot house. So that's why, as you see some of these, it might seem kind of low, but it's a pretty good size house. So next is that he is having to buy 2x4 lumber, and he needs 2,500 feet of 2x4 lumber at $250 per foot. Also, he's going to need painting, and painting is going to be 300 square feet at $10 per square foot. Now, that could easily be, it should be by hour, but you know, that's all right. So, the next item that we are going to create, or going to add to the estimate, is the hourly rate. And the amount of hours it's going to take is 1,500 hours at $15 per hour. And as you can see over here, it does state that it is non-taxable, as it is a service that we had created. And then we have plumbing. Plumbing is at 25 hours, that's at $30 per hour, and it's $750. PVC piping, 900 feet of PVC piping is needed, and it is $1.50 per foot, and it is taxable as well. Shingles, it is 1,500 per square foot, or 1,500 square feet at $3 per square foot, which makes a total of $4,500. Now, we do need to add insulation, as we had created that item earlier. And we have 800 square feet of insulation at $3 per square foot, which equals to $2,400. Now, as you can see down here, if you add all of them up, we get our subtotal amount. But then you also have the 8.25% of those items that are taxable, which is included in this estimate. So the total amount of the estimate is $80,088.75. So let's say we send this to Bob. Bob sends it back, says, let's go for it. And 2 weeks down the road, all of a sudden, we need to bill him for a progress report. So to do a progress report, you would go and from the estimate, say create invoice, and we are only going to include certain items for a different percentage of each item. Now, we're not going to say we're going to bill them for 100% because in 2 weeks the house can't be built. If it could, that'd be great. And we're not going to do it by percentage of the entire estimate because not everything has been done. So we are going to create invoice for selected items or for different percentages of each item. And we're going to say, okay. Now, in this box, we are going to say show percentage, because what we are going to say is that of this amount, 100% of the concrete has been poured. Oh, I apologize. Wrong column. 100% of the concrete has been poured in our current percentage of the total amount of the lumber that has been put together or that has been used. 25% has been used as well. Now we have the hourly rate of only, let's just say 10% has been used. And everything else is still on hold at the moment. So once we have that in there, we see that with taxes, our total amount of our invoice is going to be $13,683.91. So at that point, we are going to say OK, and it automatically creates the invoice for us. And so here you can see $13,683.91. That is the total amount of our invoice. And everything that has not been done yet is still sitting at 0%. So 0% has been used. And we will say save. And we will send this to Bob. So after we have done the invoicing, we need to be able to pay our employees. So to do that, we come down to this portion of the home screen down here where it says employees, and we are going to select pay employees. Now we have so we already have a schedule already created, and we need to pay our employee. So right here is our create paycheck screen, and here's our schedule. And so we are going to say start scheduled payroll. And our only employee is Adam Johnson. So to make sure that Adam has everything set up correctly, we are going to select open paycheck detail. We have his salary of $3,100.25. His federal withholding is being deducted, his Social Security employee has been deducted, his Medicare has been deducted, and for a total net amount of $23,88.93. Now, you can add multiple other things. You can add medical insurance, you can add 401k, you can add other types of deductions and additions along with what is showing here. And due to the lack of time, I can't really show you how to do that at the moment. But, so we have everything in Adam, so we're going to say save and close. And we're going to select continue and select create paychecks. And here you'll be able to say print paychecks if you want to print it on check stock, or you can say print pay stubs if you're going to manually write a paycheck to him. And since I'm not able to do either at the moment, I am going to say close. And it brings you back to your create paycheck screen. And so we're going to exit out of there. We're going to come back to our home screen. And this is the main focal point of where everything you do should come out of.
And that's all for our training today. Thank you so much for joining us. My name is Aaron Coates. I'm with AFairchild PC. If you have any additional questions regarding QuickBooks or accounting and tax services, please give us a call at 214-731-7664. Don't forget to also contact the Garland Chamber of Commerce for any other additional business resources that they may offer. Thank you so much, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.